Someone said once that the only thing that all human beings have in common is the earth. He was right, and nevertheless, since that quote was wrote, millions of tons of wastes have been thrown both to the water and to the soil. I am Anthony from team number 1. Today, me and my team members Alessia, Sara, Alejandro, and Fernanda will talk about one of the most polluting industries in the world, the livestock industry. Let's face reality. No one really cares too much about the processes that make possible the daily products we consume, such as milk or meat. And this is a problem, because without looking at the precise steps that make possible the livestock industry, it is impossible to measure its real effect. So, with what processes I'm talking about? Let's see. The first one is the fact that the livestock industry is responsible for the direct deforestation of thousands of square kilometers per year. Secondly, to harvest the livestock, it is necessary to use a lot of soil to farm and also a lot of water for both the livestock and for the crops. And third, it is the fact that to buy the meat and these other products, it is necessary to transfer them, and that contributes to the greenhouse effect because of the waste that cars led to the air. With these processes, we will see them more accurately in the rest of the video.
Know that the livestock industry is one of the main polluted activity in the world? Follow us and we will show you why. The need to transport animals occurs essentially in the agriculture and to a lesser extent of the rural and subsistence sector. Typically, methods to move animals are on hoof, by road, by motor vehicle, on ship, on rail, and by air. These animals have to be moved for a number of reasons. For example, marketing, slaughter, restocking, and they have to be moved to an extended rural place or for the change of ownerships. Also, humans have to reduce the use of methods of transportation. For example, the cars' gases emissions cause in the atmosphere the more pollution, and that is caused only by us. So we have to reduce the use of transportation methods and start walking or using the bicycle or another method that doesn't include the pollution of the air.
The main components of fertilizer are the nitrogen. The soil has a very low assimilation with the nitrogen. So, depending on the uses, quality and quantity that people do to this chemical, it can be ends in oceans or rivers. Water consumed with high amount of nitrates concentration can develop diseases like, for example, in children under 6 months can develop that they cannot breathe and looks blue. Some studies release that the nitrate can cause cancer and different other type of diseases. After the Second World War, the United States searched the way to produce enough food for their inhabitants. So they start a production model called Green Revolution. In this revolution, it implements some pesticides, herbicides, and other kind of pollutants to produce more food.
Livestock production is one of the driving forces behind this wholesale destruction. Deforestation causes incalculable environmental damage, releasing tons of billions of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and driving thousands of species of life into extinction each year. In Latin America, in particular, most of the deforested land ended up as pasture used to raise cattle in extensive grazing systems.
also produces greenhouse gases emission by the feeding production, the fermentation, and the land use change. The gases that are emitted are principally or mainly methane as the 3% of all the global pollutants, and also this affects the climate change. And a solution that can be put in practice for this to reduce is the improvement of the production and the productivity management. That means that you need to reduce also the industry to make a better world. Another important solution that we can put in practice as human beings is the consumption of more vegetables, fruits, and other things like that instead of the meat, and some other things that are provided for cows or other bovines. This can be reduced because if we do that, then the livestock industry will be decreasing and these pollutants will be more less, and we can reduce all the pollution that is around the world. Another that is important that as an industry they can put in practice are some rules that they need to follow and change all the techniques that are used, because the techniques also affects our breeding and the animals' care. So that means that if the rules of sanity are followed in the correct way, they can reduce all the pollutants that are around the world and help us as humans and the animals. They also can live a better life without extinction. Another solution to reduce the livestock industry pollutants is also to give a better diet to the bovines, mainly to the cows, because during the lactation they produce methane. That means they're the biggest pollutant around the world. That means the better the diet is, the less the methane they are going to produce. So if the industry pays more attention to their animals that they are taking care of it, they can reduce all the pollutants around the world.